I have a question for you today. What are you believing for? Sometimes it can seem so big, we don't know how to get what's in our heart to come to pass. We've got the answer today. Stay right here. So glad you're with me. I'm asking you, what are you believing God for? Sometimes we get such a vision in our heart, big things we want to see God do, but we don't know how do we get that to come to pass. If we look in the Word of God in Habakkuk chapter 2, verse 2, the Lord answers and says, write the vision, make it plain, keep it clear, so those can run who read it. And don't get worried if it doesn't come to pass right away. It may tarry, but it has an appointed time to come to pass. That means you'll see it. I can give you a testimony right now. I had some big things in my heart. So I made a vision board on my bedroom wall. I didn't even use a board. I just stuck it, these things right to the wall. And over the years, I only had it up there for about 4 years, but I looked at the index cards I'd put on the wall. They've all come to pass. Why? I made it clear. I put the vision up. I wrote it down. I had to look at it, and I was believing God for those things. I thought, I need a whole new vision board. This has already come to pass. 2 columns were about our church and ministry. 2 were personal columns that I was believing things to come in, and God has answered them. They do come to pass. Don't give up on that vision. In our church, we have passed out this year these little papers, and they say, this year I'm believing for, and you have to write it down. It's easier for your faith, and when you're asking God, if you can get the vision into bite-sized form. I mean, break it down. Don't just say, Lord, just bless my church. No, or just bless my business. Come on, what does that look like? What are the things in your heart you could write down? How would the Lord open new doors in your career? How would the Lord increase your church? What outreaches do you want to see come to pass? Or what new volunteers do you need? Or what does your media team need? You know, and I began to write these things down. Well, I just kept writing. I mean, I can fill up back and the front quickly. So I'm believing for these things, and I know they will come to pass. You get real specific with that vision. Keep it clear. Make it plain. You got to run with God's giving you in your heart. I was thinking about my house. This is a project. It was a vision I had in my heart, and it seemed so big, and Jay and I got overwhelmed. We need to paint every room in our house. It just needs a new coat of paint. And so we both started arguing with each other, like, you paint it. No, you paint it. And we had to go get it into bite-sized form. We went to Sherwin-Williams. We got the brochures. We started looking at the paint, getting examples. Well, what does that goal, what does that vision look like when you actually start doing it? We had to kind of break it down. Okay, what does the room look like? What paint do we need? What are we going to do with the trim? And once we did that, we got it into tinier measures, kind of like a to-do list that you could check off and actually see parts of it getting accomplished. Once we did that, man, it put some wheels on that dream, on that vision. We broke it down. We got the trim painted out, and we're taking it room by room instead of just looking at the whole house and getting overwhelmed. That's what your vision needs. I'm encouraging you today, write it down. What is God asking you? What is that new career He has for you? What is the new lines of ministry He wants you to jump out into? Why don't you just start writing down bit by bit? What would it look like if you did something towards that today? Write that down. Tomorrow, the next day. Make it in this bite-sized form. You can start checking it off, and before long, all of that shall come to pass. And that's so you'll stick with the plans He has for you. Thanks for joining me today. I love hearing all that God is doing in your life. And thank you for sharing this. New people get to watch this because you are sharing this. If you're on YouTube, go ahead and hit that subscribe button. Leave us a comment. If you're on Facebook, like this page. We're going to have a brand new video for you next week. And remember, every Tuesday, we are live. I'll see you then.